Good afternoon. I'm Chris Hedstrom from the Oregon IPM Center, and I'm going to show you how to set up an account and set up your subscriptions for the new uspest.org push notification service. The first thing you'll want to do if you don't have an account is enter your email here, and enter a password, and confirm that password, and then click Create It. You will receive an email with a link to confirm your account or a numerical random token to enter, but once you do that, you'll be in. I already have an account, or if you already have an account, you can enter your email and your password that you set up here and just click Log In. This is the main page and main interface for the uspest.org push subscriptions setup. This is where you'll add stations and subscriptions of the pests and diseases that you want to monitor. The page does have detailed descriptions here at the top, as well as information about when you'll receive information and emails, and also test messages that you can send yourself. But for this tutorial, I'll go through the different sections and how to set up a basic subscription for any of the pest models. There are three different sections for this main page. There's the stations page, which is where you'll select or remove weather stations that you want to use for the models. There's the subscription page that once we add some, you'll see the subscriptions and the schedules that you've set up. And then finally at the bottom, there's available models. This is where you'll find the different models to subscribe to. This includes insect pests, invasive pests, diseases, weeds, and also some crop time models. And then finally at the bottom, there's account management, where you can log out, change your password, or get rid of your account if you'd like. So the first thing that you'll want to do is select a station or add a station near where you want to monitor. I have one selected here already for Corvallis, but to add stations, if you're setting this up the first time, you might see different buttons that add a station, but that'll be clear under stations. For this, we'll click Change Stations. And the smaller pop-up window comes up, Station List Management. It shows that I have one selected in Corvallis, but let's add another station. For this tutorial, we'll pretend that I want to monitor for filbert worm in Amity, Oregon. So the first thing you'll do is click Add Station to List, and then you can search for stations by different ways. You can search by city, you can search by a place name, you can put in the zip code if you know it, or even the station code if you happen to know the station code of a particular weather station that you want to use. So I know that I want to look in Amity, so I'll search for Amity. And a lot of results come up because this is a nationwide tool. So there's Amity in Clark County, Arkansas, Amity, Arkansas again, Amity, Yamhill County in Oregon. That sounds like what I want. But if you want more details about each of those, you can click on those and it will show you the available weather stations for those locations that come up as results. So for this, I want Amity, Yamhill County, Oregon. And there's a few here. It looks like there's two in Amity that I could select, as well as others nearby, McMinnville, Kaiser, and Salem. If you're not sure where these are, you can click the map link, and that brings up a Google Map type interface. Each of those blue flags is a different available weather station that you can select. So this is the McMinnville Sheridan area. You can zoom in. Amity shows up. It looks like there's 2 or 3 in the area. I'm going to select this one here, and I know it's selected now because it's purple. I tapped on it or clicked on it, and it shows me here currently selected at the top. E6701, EW6701, that's the station code, Amity, Oregon. I'm satisfied with that, so I can go ahead and click Accept. If I'd made a mistake and realized that I wanted to add the other one, you can either just delete it, click Add Station to List. You could click another one and click Accept, but that one I want to select and then hit Accept, and that's the different one. You'll notice here there's a quality score of 88%. If you want to know more about that, there's a link at the bottom. This is about quality scores, and it will describe what that quality score means. If you need to get out of this and you don't want to change anything, you can always hit Cancel. So I'm going to delete that one. I'm going to add that other station to mine, E6701, Accept. And now I know that's the one that's selected. Quality score of 98%. That sounds good to me. And then the Corvallis one is here also. I'm going to leave that one on just so when we look at the data, we have a couple of different things to look at. Once you're satisfied with the stations that you selected, you can make sure that you click Save List to add those. And under stations, you can see now I've got Corvallis, Oregon and Amity, Oregon as my stations. The next step is to add subscriptions, and you'll do that from the available models. I said that for this we'll do filbert worm, and so there's a few different ways that I can find that model. I can search by category, so I know filbert worm is an insect. I can click insect. I can scroll down to F and find filbert worm there. Collapse those again by tapping on them. I can search for models by crop, so I know that filbert worm is a hazelnut pest. I can tap hazelnut. I can scroll down again and then find filbert worm there. This is the same model, it's just in different category. And then finally, if I just knew what I was looking for, the all models in one list is every available model that's currently available. Currently there's 140 different models that you can choose from, and filbert worm is found in alphabetical order under F. So I'll go ahead and select that by just clicking on the link, and the filbert worm subscription details pop-up window comes up. There's information about this insect and this model, where this model came from. You can click on these links at the top here, and that will tell you what the model is actually running. It'll show you some details about the biofixes if they're there, or the degree days, upper and lower thresholds. So the first thing, if you're subscribing to it, you want to set up when do I want to receive this email. So in which months do you want the email with this model's output? For filbert worm, I might choose April, May, June, and July, knowing that those adults are flying during that time. And then during these months, which days of the week do you want it? Well, I want to make my suggestions maybe at the beginning of the week, so maybe Mondays or Tuesdays. Let's choose Tuesdays instead. You can choose if you want Celsius or Fahrenheit based on how you do your IPM management plan. And then if you want to see what would be sent that day, you can click send a test message. If you don't want this model, you can unsubscribe to it anytime. You can cancel if you've made a mistake and clicked a different filbert worm model or accidentally chose filbert blight or something. Actually, don't think filbert blight's in there. And then finally save to save that. This is still expanded, so it's hard to see. Click that to collapse it. And now I can see under my subscriptions, I've subscribed to filbert worm for Tuesdays during April and July. So every Tuesday in April and July, I'll receive an email between 7 and 8 a.m. with the model output based on my weather stations. I should also note that the filbert worm model is pretty straightforward. It's got a set biofix of a certain date, and it is a degree day model. Other models require some kind of input, and I'll show you an example. So if we want to add, for example, codling moth, I know has a requires user input or a biofix. So same as before, you just select when you want to receive the emails, but for this one, biofix event states. When did the biofix event first consistent capture of moths and pheromone traps occur? And so this will require you to put in when you first trapped codling moth, for example. Different models require different inputs, and so in different stations you can choose differently because that might be different if you're in Southern Oregon versus Northern Oregon, or if you're in Montana, or if you're in Louisiana and monitoring to these different areas. You can select that based on the station. I don't want to add this one, so I will click cancel. And then as another example, the disease predictive models or risk models might be different as well. So if we look at apple scab, this one has the additional preferred format. It doesn't require user input, but the output might be different. So this is table and graph. For the filbert worm or codling moth, you might just see a table based on the degree days that have accumulated. But for this one, because it's a predictive model, you'll see a different table or graph output. So I'll go ahead and subscribe to this one also so we can see the output. Tuesdays in August is what I would like to see. And I would click save, close that down. And now I know that I'm subscribed to apple scab and filbert worm for Tuesdays during August, so just a couple days a week, or Tuesdays during April and July. That's going to go all the way through the summer for filbert worm. Once your subscriptions are set up, if you'd like to see an example of the data that would be sent that day, you can scroll to the top and it says request a test message, and you can click that. Make sure that if you do want to receive this, it will take a moment, and then it will indicate that an email has been sent. One note, if you are not subscribed to that day, for example, today is August 10th, it's a Tuesday, and I'm subscribed to Tuesdays in August. If you're not subscribed to anything that day, it wouldn't send you an email that day. So if you send the test message for that day, you might get an error or not receive anything because nothing would have been sent that day to you because you didn't set it up that way. And that's the basic setup. I'm subscribed to those models, and so on those days that I've selected, I'll receive an email in the morning on those days of the model outputs. So next, let's take a look at what the different models look like. So here's the test email that I received in my inbox, and it notes Pest Risk Index Report for Tuesday, August 10th, 2021. The first thing it does, it goes through alphabetical order of the models that you've chosen. So Apple Scab for my station in Amity. This is the table output. Mentions 2021, August 10th, no scab risk based on this risk index. To find out more about the risk index, look up the Apple Scab details to find out where that comes from if you want, or you can just look at the risk. It also shows 2020, the prior year, to show what was happening on that same day last year to make comparisons. If you prefer the graph output, this is what that looks like. 2021 is in black, shows the black bar. August 9th, there was scab cycle starting. August 10th, no scab risk. The green dotted line here shows that everything past there is a forecast. On here, the forecast, everything is forecast here of what it is based on that weather station. So that's what like I said, the disease predictive risk models have a different output than some of the other models. If we look at filbert worm, that has a set, this is not scrolling very well, I apologize. There we go. Filbert worm has a threshold of 50 degrees Fahrenheit, 110 degrees Fahrenheit for the upper threshold. So this, and also has a fixed biofix of April 1st. So if we look at the output for that, it looks at the degree days accumulated for our weather station in Amity. And if you have multiple weather stations, it will show up for all of them that you've selected for that model. So we can see right now we're in August 9th, 1,835 degree days accumulated now. Looks like if I had wanted to get those traps out, average first moth emergence was back in June, so I might have missed my trapping for this year. But for this example, this is just what we're showing. So this is what it looks like, though. It shows the degree days accumulated, and it shows these phenological events in the table, and then shows you the current date. So you can make predictions based on that. This one doesn't show the previous year. If you want to make changes, down at the bottom of the email, there is a link. You can adjust these settings here. Clicking that will take you back to the uspest.org/push account, where you can make changes to your schedule. And so that's it. The 3 steps that you need to do are adding stations, adding subscriptions, and then just waiting for the data to arrive. If you have questions about this, you can contact us at uspest.org or the Oregon IPM Center through links on that site or on the site now where you found this tutorial. But we hope that you enjoy using the uspest.org tools and that it's helpful to inform and improve your IPM strategies. So thank you.